Hey guys, so today we're back with another high protein meal. Now, of course, it is weight loss friendly. This is actually a viral recipe. So this is the viral caramelized onion pasta. Okay, so it is super delicious. It is super creamy, but it is also very macro friendly. So if you are someone who is trying to eat very high protein, lower calorie, so this is definitely one of the meals that you want to try, okay? Now, I'm gonna show you my hacks to making this a better for you version. One, if you are wanting to eat pasta, you're like, Myra, I do not want zoodles, I don't want egg noodles, I want the real deal, then you can just try to find something that aligns with your goals. So if you are really trying to get, let's say, 100 grams of protein a day, 150 grams of protein a day, then you're just gonna use your macros to find the products that you need, okay? So in this case, we have a high protein pasta. So this guy right here adds about 80 grams of protein to our dish, okay? Then instead of just using water, you can use things like bone broth. So bone broth adds, this little can right here, this little box adds an additional 19 grams of protein to your dish. So like instead of using water, you can use bone broth. Instead of using a regular pasta, use like a high protein pasta. You can always add Greek yogurt. And then of course for your protein, we're gonna use chicken. So this is very lean, right? Lean chicken. I would say we're running about 200 grams of protein here in this meal. Okay, and then that's if you want to add in your Parmesan. So I don't know if you know this, but Parmesan actually has a ton of protein. I've seen a lot of people that are like really crazy about like their health and on this crazy health kick. They literally travel to the airport with a piece of Parmesan cheese. I'm not gonna be that girl. I am not gonna be traveling with some Parmesan cheese, but I am very much that girl that is going to make a really high protein, delicious meal, okay? So this is great for dinner, great for hosting, or even just for your family. This is definitely one of those crowd pleasing meals, okay? So it is going viral for a reason, but we're just gonna make it high protein and weight loss friendly. So the first thing we're gonna start off with is caramelizing our onions because it actually takes roughly about 20 minutes. I didn't know it took that long to make caramelized onions, but just to kind of get a head start, meanwhile we do everything else, we can already start with our onions. So I'm just adding a little bit of avocado oil. Okay, so I'm just gonna do like a low to medium heat because these pans, I do not need to cook on high heat. These are made of ceramic, which cooks everything like very evenly. And a lot of pans, they have like these forever chemicals that go into your bloodstream. It's like a whole thing. So for the past, I would say about 2 to 3 years now, I've been using ceramic pots. These I love because I can cook it on induction, I can cook on gas, I can cook on electric, and even if I'm cooking like on the stovetop, I could finish it off in the oven, which is obviously super convenient. But yeah, these pans are also non-stick. They are plastic free, chemical free. They're just a much better for you option. And on top of all that, they're absolutely gorgeous. They're like super aesthetic. I literally have their entire collection. I have from small, medium pots. I have the pot for the turkey. I have all the bakeware, like everything. So yeah, ultimately they're very durable. They're super beautiful. So you could literally have them like on display. But best of all is just like they're a much better for you option when it comes to your health. I've been using Caraway for years. This is the Caraway white with gold. So if you have like a white kitchen, this one here, look at how beautiful they are. Like they are absolutely gorgeous. I feel like you could literally hang them like as decor, you know what I mean? So these are definitely by far the most aesthetic pots and pans out there, but they're also the best. Like they are non-stick. They are non-toxic. And nowadays, just knowing how bad some of these chemicals are for us, it's like hard to go back to using Teflon. You know what I mean? So if you have been trying to make the switch, I actually have a discount code for Caraway. I'll leave it linked in the description below. And for the discount code, just use LCL10 and it gets you 10% off on your entire order. So anyway, but yeah, I literally use them for everything. Their little egg, the one for the eggs is my holy grail. I use that like every single day of the week. So we're gonna do our onions here. Let's go ahead and salt and pepper. Just We're gonna leave this on low. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go ahead and get started on my chicken. Now here's another thing. Okay, so I'm gonna use the high protein pasta, but if you're like, I don't want to do the carbs, I really wanna stick to ultra low carb, then you can use zoodles. You can use egg noodles. There's like literally egg white noodles. All of these that I'm mentioning are like less than 2 to 3 carbs and almost no calories, okay? So you can use zoodles, which is just zucchini that's spiralized. You can use the egg white noodles. You can use kelp noodles, and you can even use the shirataki noodles. So all of those work. Now, if you wanna do something that's not typically used as a noodle, but I have used and I love, is onion pasta. So basically think of this, like actually right here, like before caramelizing, I would probably use this right here with this texture as my pasta. This is more like sauteed onions, but look at this. You just throw your sauce, you throw your chicken, and this definitely works as pasta, okay? And the other one is cabbage. So I have used shredded cabbage as a pasta substitute, and it is absolutely delicious. It is so good. So that is just an option. If you don't want to use pasta and you're like, nope, I want to stick to ultra low carb, or if you have someone that's diabetic, those are all perfect options, okay? So a lot of my recipes here are diabetic friendly, they're weight loss friendly. And remember, I have my ultra low carb meal plan. So it is a guide where I walk you step by step. I show you all the swaps. I show you breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, desserts, everything that you need to know. So if you have not picked it up, that would be super helpful if you are just starting your weight loss journey, or maybe the scale's not moving, or you just have a lot of questions about what to do. Then I highly recommend you grab my ultra low carb meal guide, okay? So I will leave that linked in the description below for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this in the back, and then we will get started on our chicken, and then you'll see how easy it is to put this together. We have our pasta cooking back there. We have our onions caramelizing. So now we're going to quickly cook the chicken. So chicken, I usually just do onion powder, garlic powder, a little pepper, some paprika, just depending on what I'm making. Some oregano. Now I'm just gonna make sure that's nice and hot so it gets a good sear, and then cook the chicken. And we're gonna assemble our pasta. You're gonna see how easy this is. You'll kind of see why this pasta gained so much popularity. Like it is just that pasta. Super creamy. It's like decadent, but it's still light, So we're gonna go ahead, let that cook through. I'm gonna clean up really quickly. Meanwhile, the caramelized onions, the pasta, everything is about to be ready. I think that's probably maybe in 5 more minutes. And then we're gonna make the sauce in our caramelized onions, okay? So get ready for that. Oh my gosh, you're gonna be surprised. Like it is just, yeah, it's so full of flavor. But best of all, it's nutritious and it's still like macro friendly, Okay, so onions are caramelized, chicken is done, pasta is done. So now to throw it together, we're going to do some cream, okay? Now you can use coconut cream. I'm using heavy cream for this. And we have our Parmesan cheese. So you make the sauce in the onions, or with the onions, I should say. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of garlic, add in all the flavor, a little bit of parsley. I'm gonna save some to top it. And you can add in a little bit of bone broth. If you don't have bone broth, of course you can use pasta water. It is thickening up. I am gonna add a tiny bit of bone broth. Obviously this also adds more protein. We're gonna do a little bit of this crunchy. So it's like a crunchy chili onion. So it's like crunchy onion, but it's a chili oil and it tastes so good. This is my favorite one. Okay, so it's getting nice and bubbly. And we are doing the high protein pasta for this guy. Now you just mix it all in. Okay, so this pasta is done. Woo, look at that. It is, do you see that? And this is a protein pasta, which the texture is a little different, but you're getting all the protein benefits. It's a very clean pasta, which I love. And now, of course, we need to, let's try not to do that. We are going to do some grilled chicken on top. I think I'm just kind of slicing, just not going all the way down. Okay. Let's try to twirl it. I feel like this might not be one of those pastas. Okay, so we have our pasta. Look at that. We have a chicken breast. Okay, nice and sliced. We're also going to look the parsley, and you can do chili flakes if you want a little touch of spice. And there you have it. Look at that. I feel like this is a simple dish to make. It does have a few steps because if you're cooking the pasta, you're cooking then you have to caramelize your onions and your chicken. So it does have a few steps, but I think it is 100% worth it. Not only because it is super nutritious. So this is definitely one of those dishes. It's like a comfort food that reminds you of your childhood, but like a much better for you option. You know what I mean? This is loaded with protein. Whether you are trying to get your kiddos to eat more protein or you yourself is just trying to hit your macro goal, your protein macro goal, then this is a dish that you definitely want to try. It is delicious. It is creamy. It is decadent, but weirdly enough, it is also light. Like, it is not a super, super heavy pasta dish. Here you go, cheers. The sauce, you can trace the creaminess, the parm. You get a little sweetness from the caramelized onions, but it is so delicious. This is a sauce that you can even use without the pasta. You can cook shrimp in it. You can cook your chicken in it. So think of just cooking like all your chicken breasts inside of this sauce. And then you can serve it with a side of veggies. Like, you can do so many things with this sauce. I wanted to show you the original recipe, which was a pasta dish. And I think we pull through. I feel like it literally looks absolutely phenomenal. Look at this. Like, any pasta lover is gonna devour this. So anyway, the recipe, I'm gonna leave that in the description below. If you like this recipe, then of course, show me some love. Go hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel. I have a ton of weight loss recipes here and also diabetic friendly recipes. So thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.